Hello, beautiful soul. Welcome back to Frequency of Love. I'm Mistress Ana, and this is your space. And take a deep breath with me. Inhale and exhale. Arrive here. In an earlier episode, we talked about boundaries as a form of love, about the 5 kinds of boundaries we need, about why setting them is one of the most loving things we can do for ourselves and for the people who love us. And today I want to take that further because the question I get more than almost any other after that episode is the same one. I understand now that I need boundaries, but how do I actually set them without losing the people I love? And that is the practical question, and today I'm going to walk you through it, step by step. Using the example of a man I worked with before who had to learn this skill very late in life with his mother and discovered to his surprise that it deepened his relationships rather than ending them. His name was Cristian. He was 33 when he first came to me. He had what most people would call a wonderful relationship with his mother. Close, daily phone calls, holidays together, constant involvement. And he was exhausted by her. Every conversation lasted an hour minimum. Every problem in her life became his problem to solve. Every choice he made was a conversation he had to have with her. Every partner he brought home was scrutinized, commented on, advised. He loved her deeply and he was being emptied. But every time he had tried in the past to create more space, she had taken it as rejection. There had been tears, there had been guilt, there had been comments to other family members, and Cristian had always backed down. When he came to me, he was at a breaking point. He said, I cannot keep doing this, but I cannot lose her either. I need to find a way to set boundaries that does not destroy the relationship. So we got to work. The first work was not with his mother, it was with himself. So I asked him, what specially do you want to change? He could not answer at first, he just knew he was tired. So we got specific. We listened it out. He wanted the daily phone calls to become weekly. He wanted to stop being the person his mother brought every emotional crisis to. He wanted her to stop commenting on his romantic partners unless he asked. He wanted holidays to be sometimes just with his partner. These were his real specific wants. Once he had them named, I asked him, which of these feels less dangerous to ask for? Because boundary work, especially with people who have not had to respect ours before, is not done all at once. It is done in increments. Start with the one that feels most possible. Build trust in yourself that you can survive a difficult conversation. He chose to start with the daily phone calls. Before the conversation with his mother, we wrote out together what he would say. This is something I cannot recommend enough. Do not improvise hard boundary conversations. Write them. Practice them. Know what you are going to say before you walk into the room. Cristian's script was simple. It came in 3 parts. The first part, the love anchor. Remind her and himself that this is from love. Mom, you are one of the most important people in my life. I love our closeness. This is not about wanting less of you. The second part, the specific change. Naming exactly what he wanted. I have been thinking about how we talk The daily calls, I love them, but I am finding I am stretched too thin to give them what they deserve. I want to move to once a week on Sunday so I can be fully present when we talk. The third part, what he is offering. Not just what he is taking away. When we talk on Sundays, I want it to be real conversation. I will not be rushing, I will be fully there. This last part is the secret. Most people, when they set a boundary, focus only on what they are taking away. The other person hears only loss. But when you also offer something, a deeper form of the same connection, it lands differently. We rehearsed it, and then Cristian had a conversation. His mother responded exactly as he had feared. She cried, she accused him of pulling away. She said things she had said before about how she did not understand what she had done wrong. This is the moment most people give in. The pain of seeing someone we love hurt by our boundary is almost unbearable. And the temptation is to back off, to say, never mind, I will keep the daily calls, is intense. Now, Cristian did not. What we had practiced together over weeks was the skill of staying with her pain without making it mean he had to change what he was asking for. He said to her, I love you, I see this is hard, this is not about you doing anything wrong. This is about me needing space to be the man I am becoming. I want us to keep talking. I am suggesting we just do it differently. He stayed in the conversation. He did not collapse. He did not get angry. He did not flee. He stayed. And here is what happened over the following weeks. After the first hard moment passed, after the tears and the calls to his sister, and the days of cold silence, his mother began to adjust. She did not love it, but she did not leave. And what surprised Cristian most was that within 3 months, their Sunday calls had become deeper, richer, and more nourishing than any of the daily calls he had ever had. Because both of them were fully present instead of going through the motions. The boundary did not damage the relationship, it rebuilt it. And I want to name what worked for Cristian because it works in almost every boundary conversation. The first, he started with the boundary that felt most possible, not the hardest one. He built confidence by succeeding at something small. The second, he prepared. He wrote out what he would say, he practiced it. He did not rely on improvising in a moment of high emotion. The third, he framed it as love. He anchored the conversation in care, named the specific change, and offered something in return. The fourth, the most important, he stayed when she struggled. He did not collapse, fight, or flee. He held the boundary with kindness, even when she did not receive it well. That last one is the heart of the work. Because the question is not whether the other person will be uncomfortable when you set a boundary. They will be. The question is whether you can stay with their discomfort without abandoning yourself. When you set a boundary, you are not rejecting the other person. You are choosing to keep yourself alive in the relationship. The people who can love you will adjust. The people who cannot were never loving you in the first place, in the way you need it. If you have been wanting to set a boundary with someone you love, but have been terrified that doing so will end up the relationship, and let me say this to you. The right boundary set with love rarely ends a real relationship. It changes it. Sometimes painfully, sometimes slowly, but the relationship that survives your boundaries are the ones worth surviving. And the ones that do not survive gently, honestly, were costing you more than you were able to see. You are allowed to ask what you need. You are allowed to stay even when someone you love is hurting. You are allowed to keep yourself. And at Love Association and Kink Academy, we hold space for the people doing this work. And I will leave the link in the notes. Now take a deep breath with me. Inhale, then exhale. And let yourself feel which boundary in your life has been waiting. Thank you for being here with me. This is Frequency of Love. And I will meet you again in the next soul conversation.